Hello, this is the 30th lecture on Revelation and World History. Last time, we learned that the 144,000 appear in real history. The number 144,000, mentioned in the book of Revelation, is a number that appears at a specific point in time in the fulfillment of the prophecy. In 1910, the Korean Peninsula was forcibly annexed by Japan, and colonial rule began. The 105 people incident of 1911 marked the beginning of Japan's oppression of Korea and its full-scale persecution of the Church. During this period, the number of Presbyterian Church members in Korea reached 144,000. This is recorded in detail in the minutes of the General Assembly of the Presbyterian Church in Korea. The following year, on September 1, 1912, the First Presbyterian General Assembly in Korea was formed. Despite the continued oppression of the Korean Church by the Japanese, the Korean Church continued to grow day by day. The first country to greet the sunrise across the international dateline is the Korean Peninsula. In this lecture, we will learn about the relationship between the 7 churches of Asia and the Korean Church. Revelation and World History, Chapter 4, Section 5. 7 Churches of Asia. The Book of Revelation is written as letters to the 7 churches of Asia. The Presbyterian Church in Korea reached 144,000 members in 1911. At that time, the Korean Church divided the nation into 7 regions, forming 7 presbyteries. This was not a deliberate attempt to conform to the number 7, but rather the result of dividing the size of each presbytery equally based on the number of members and the size of the region. There was 1 presbytery, each in Jeonla-do, Gyeongsang-do, and Hamgyong-do. However, Pyongan Province is divided into the South Pyongan Presbytery and the North Pyongan Presbytery. And currently, the largest concentration of churches in South Korea is in the Seoul metropolitan area. However, during the Japanese colonial period, Gyeonggi and Chungcheong provinces were combined to form the Gyeongcheong Presbytery. This demonstrates that at that time, there was a significant number of Christians, centered around Pyongyang in North Korea. The 7 churches of Asia, mentioned in the Book of Revelation, were not 7 specific churches. The letters were addressed to the churches in the 7 regions of Ephesus, Smyrna, Pergamum, Thyatira, Sardis, Philadelphia, and Laodicea. Coincidentally, in 1911, when the first presbytery of the Korean Presbyterian Church was established, 7 presbyteries were established, divided into 7 regions, different from the number of administrative districts across the country. This number matches the 7 churches in Asia, to which the Book of Revelation was sent. This is a very surprising fact. If God planned and accomplished all of this in advance, God even made this number exactly the same. The number 7 appears frequently in the Book of Revelation. In September 1907, the first Korean pastors ordained in the Korean Presbyterian Church were 7 people. Bang Ki-chong, Seo Kyung-jo, Yang Jun-bak, Han Suk-jin, Lee Ki-pung, Gil Son-ju, Song In-seo. These 7 men were ordained pastors, who received theological education under the guidance of missionaries in Joseon at the time. The institution that ordained them was the Pyongyang Presbytery of the Presbyterian Church in Korea, the first Presbyterian presbytery in Korea. I will explain the mystery of the 7 stars that you saw at my right side, and the 7 gold lampstands. The 7 stars are the angels of the 7 churches, and the lampstands are the 7 churches. Revelation chapter 1, verse 20. The first pastors of the Presbyterian Church in Korea were 7 men. They are 7 church leaders. The first presbytery of the Korean Presbyterian Church was also composed of 7 presbyteries, matching the number 7. This is truly remarkable. The book of Revelation and the prophetic books state that the place where prophecy is fulfilled is the east where the sun rises. This prophecy is being fulfilled on the Korean Peninsula, a place located in the east where the sun rises. Revelation chapter 7 verse 4 states that the total number of those sealed from the 12 tribes of Israel is 144,000. The Korean Peninsula, too, has been a united political community since the ancient Three Kingdoms period, when 12 small nations united. In this way, the histories of Israel and the Korean Peninsula are like twins. If the place where prophecy was recorded is Israel of Palestine, then the place where that prophecy is fulfilled is Israel of the East, the Korean Peninsula. In September 1907, the first 7 pastors in the Korean Presbyterian Church were ordained at the Pyongyang Presbytery. And in 1911, the entire Korean Peninsula was divided into 7 districts, establishing 7 presbyteries. The 7 pastors are the 7 church messengers. The 7 presbyteries are the 7 churches of Asia. In the next lecture, we will learn about another remarkable historical event that occurred in 1912, when the first General Assembly of the Presbyterian Church in Korea was held. It was the Bible History School. If you subscribe and set up notifications, you can continue listening to the lectures on Revelation and world history.